terrible accident changed everything. Now, it sits alone, hiding secrets from the past, shrouded in shadows and eerie silence. Clara loved old things. She was a historian who enjoyed exploring abandoned places. One day, she found a photo of an old train station. The station was from the 1800s, but no one knew why it closed. Curious, Clara decided to find out. She packed her camera and flashlight and ventured into the forest. The train station was spooky, covered in vines and dust. The windows were broken, and the air was cold and still. As Clara walked around, she felt like someone was watching her. She heard strange sounds, soft whispers, distant cries, and the faint echo of a train whistle. Clara set up camp inside the station. That night she had a strange dream. She saw the station full of people, happy and busy. Then she saw the terrible accident. The crash was loud and terrifying. It felt so real. When she woke up, her camera had recorded ghostly figures and mysterious noises. Determined to find the truth, Clara explored more. She found an old diary from the station master hidden under loose floorboards. The diary told a scary story. The station was built on sacred land, a place of ancient rituals and power. The spirits of the land were angry and caused the accident. Each night, Clara had the same dream. She couldn't tell what was real anymore. The ghosts were becoming angrier, their cries louder, their whispers more urgent. She tried to leave, but she was trapped in a time loop. Every day was the same, with the shadows growing darker and the spirits more restless. Clara realized she had to replay the past to set the spirits free. She found an old, broken train that somehow worked. She boarded the train, and it felt like she was back in time. The passengers looked normal, but their eyes were empty, their faces pale. As the train reached the crash site, Clara felt a jolt, and everything went black. When she woke up, Clara was back in her own time, but she knew the truth. She was now part of the station's ghost story. Her fate was to guide others who dared to explore the haunted station, forever linked to the echoes of time. In a quaint town nestled in the heart of an English countryside, there lies a dilapidated manor, rumored to be cursed by the sins of its past inhabitant. Among them, the tale of the gluttonous patriarch, Dionysus Greenwood, echoes through generations. As the story goes, Dionysus was a man consumed by his insatiable appetite, indulging in feasts of excess that knew no bounds. His gluttony knew no limits, and his feast tables were always overflowing with the most decadent delicacies. But with each bite, the manor seemed to absorb his voracious hunger, growing ever darker and more sinister. Locals whispered of strange occurrences, disappearances of livestock, unsettling noises emanating from the depths of the manor, and a pervasive sense of unease that hung heavy in the air. Years passed, and the Grimwood Manor became a place of dread, avoided by all but the bravest or most foolish souls. Yet, curiosity often overcomes fear. One fateful night, a group of teenagers dared each other to venture into the heart of the cursed manor. As they stepped over the threshold, they were greeted by a sight that chilled them to the bone. A grand banquet hall, adorned with rotting finery, and at its center, a table laden with food long past its expiration date. The air was thick with the stench of decay, and shadows danced ominously along the walls. Unknown to the intruders, the manor hungered not for their flesh, but for for their souls. Voices whispered in their ears, tempting them to feast on the foul banquet before them, promising pleasures beyond imagining. And as they indulged in the forbidden feast before them, they soon realized that they were not alone. Something ancient and ravenous lurked in the shadows, feeding off their gluttony and growing stronger with each passing moment. Trapped within the mansion's grip, the teenagers soon realized the true horror of their situation. They were not alone. They were pawns in a game of cosmic horror, their souls mere playthings for the malevolent forces that dwelled within the cursed halls of Grimwood Manor. As the night wore on and the feast reached its climax, they came to understand the true cost of indulgence. Their own damnation. In the annals of wealth, there exists a man whose insatiable greed knows no bounds. But wherever he treads, calamity follows like a shadow, a sinister dance of fate orchestrated by unseen hands. Cars careen off roads, buildings collapse, yet the wealthy man emerges unharmed, a mockery of mortality itself. But in the labyrinth of his opulence, darker forces stir, waiting to claim their due. Aware of what's to come, the man locked himself within the confines of his opulent hotel. The wealthy man finds solace in emptiness. But little does he know, the walls around him hold secrets far more ominous than mere wealth. Bargains struck in desperation often bear the mark of infernal origins. In a pact sealed in blood and whispered promises, a greedy man that gambled everything and lost exchanges his very essence for luck and fleeting prosperity, oblivious to the toll exacted upon his soul. With each passing day, the man revels in his ill-gotten gains, blind to the gathering storm on the horizon. But in the realm of the damned, debts remain unpaid, and the devil waits with bated breath. In the silence of his gilded prison, the wealthy man meets his reckoning. A twisted symphony of fate unfolds as the final piece falls into place, triggering the dormant contract with infernal consequences. As shadows writhe and darkness descends, the devil himself reappears, a specter of malevolence cloaked in night. With a smile that chills the soul, he claims his prize, dragging the wealthy man into the abyss with a promise of eternal torment. But in the endless dance of temptation, the devil's hunger knows no bounds. With a flicker of malice in his eyes, he sets his sights on a new target, another soul ripe for the picking. And so, the cycle continues, a never-ending spiral of greed and despair, as yet another soul falls prey to the siren song of wealth and power. In the tapestry of existence, greed is but a fleeting shadow, a hollow promise that leads only to ruin. For in the end, no wealth can buy salvation, and the price of a soul is beyond measure. Beware the temptations of fortune, for in the darkness, there lies only emptiness and the echoing laughter of the devil himself.